products of the Decision project are to identify through the comprehensive integration of clinical and omics data by using system approaches, first, a new combinatorial therapy to prevent acute and chronic liver failure and decrease short-term mortality in specific groups of patients with decompensation of cirrhosis. Second, a new prognostic test predicting short-term outcome, thus allowing stratification of patients with a good or poor prognosis. And finally, a new test for response, predicting which patients have the highest chance to respond to the novel combinatorial therapy. The Decision trial is built within the framework of the project to assess the efficacy and the safety of the new combinatorial therapy and to validate the novel test developed in the initial part of the project. The Decision trial is a multi-center, prospective, open-label, proof-of-concept, randomized clinical trial in 180 patients admitted to hospital at the 10 participating clinical centers for acute decompensation of cirrhosis, not presenting with acute and chronic liver failure, but carrying a high risk of short-term poor outcome as identified by CLIF CAD score equal or greater than 50. These patients will be randomized 1-to-1 to receive standard medical treatment or standard medical treatment plus the combinatorial therapy for 28 days, and then followed up to a maximum of 90 days. Combinatorial therapy will consist of 2 already commercially available drugs selected in the previous working packages of the project. The composite primary endpoint will be the incidence of patients developing ACLF within 28 days from inclusion or maintaining a CLIF CAD score equal or greater than 50 at 28 days, since both these criteria have been found to stratify this cohort of patients based on a significantly different risk of 90-day mortality. This trial will also validate the test for response to the combinatorial therapy using the biological samples collected during the trial. Finally, 180 consecutive patients presenting at admission a CLIF CAD score lower than 50 and therefore not included in the randomized clinical trial will be also enrolled in a parallel observational study to provide part of the population needed to validate the prognostic test. In conclusion, we expect that the results of the Decision trial will lead to a personalized management of this very sick population of patients, thus optimizing the appropriateness of treatment and the allocation of resources.